Hey everyone, Kiwi Crypto Miner here. Welcome into another YouTube video. In this video we are going to be testing Nexa on the new LOL Miner 1.74, but before we crack into that, I'd just like to say a big thank you to everyone who has donated using the donation link down below to the Give a Little page. So I'm going to be hopefully buying a new GPU with that money soon when the next 7000 series cards come out. So if anyone else would like to contribute or help contribute to that, just leave a donation in the Give a Little page in the description link down below. And moving into the video, so the card that we have on the rig at the moment is a 6600 ASRock model, Hynix memory, and you can see the settings here, but I've also got them in another table that I'll show you all the results that I got from all the cards. Just before we get to that though, I'll show you the flight sheet for this. So this is the one that I use for the AMD cards, and it's super simple. It's just got the coin, the wallet, the pool, and pretty much nothing in here. Your flight sheet should just look like this, but for NVIDIA there was some extra config arguments. So I set the core clock locked in the miner screen here, and the memory clock locked at 5001 for all of them in the flight sheet here as well. And then all the core offsets that I state in the table, they're all set back in this HiveOS screen. So you just put a core clock in there. So if the offset is 300, you just put 300 in there, and that's what gets you to the best efficiency. For those people who like to see the inside of the miner, obviously this is only for the one card that I've got on the rig at the moment, but just for reference, this is what the inside of the miner will look like. And now moving into the results that we've got here. So I did do a bit of testing. You can see I've got a few notes down here at the bottom. So we've got Rigel Miner was almost in line with LOL Miner. There was like a negligible difference on the most recent version of Rigel Miner. So you can use Rigel Miner if you like, won't make a difference really. BZ Miner had a higher hash rate, but it also had rejected shares. I tried it on a couple of GPUs and it was just slightly higher on the hash rate, but around about the 4% rejected shares mark. And then this was the smallest difference of the three. So LOL Miner 1.73 was actually like maybe 0.3 watts lower power consumption than 1.74. But I've just gone with 1.74 anyway. It's what I've done all my testing on because it's the most recent. If you want to save 0.3 watts, and it's not worth it really. So just ignore that one really. I have not retested the 5000 series cards, so I've just done the 6000 series cards that I've got and the NVIDIA cards that I have. Alright, moving into the results. So I didn't change any of the overclock settings from what I've previously done, except for a couple of the voltages had to be increased once I updated, because I think the last time I tested these was at 1.70 for LOL Miner, and it was the 6800. It needed upping from 620 to 630 and 1060 to 1070 and 840 to 850, and then also the 6600 needed the core voltage to go up from 640 to 650. So I did think that was a little bit unusual that just some of them needed a few voltages increased, but just bear in mind if you do upgrade from like LOL 1.70 to 1.74, you might have to increase some of the voltages to make it run stable. And then the results for the 6000 series cards leaves the 6600 XT being the best of the bunch, and then the 6600, 6700 XT and 6800, they're all pretty much around the same at that 0.51 to 0.52 mark. So not too much difference in those three, but 6600 XT is usually the most efficient of the bunch, so it's a pretty good card. And then on to the NVIDIA side of things, you can see we've got some even larger or better efficiency numbers. So we've got the 3070 here in the lead, which has the 0.639. So it's by far the most efficient of all these cards. So if you've got one of these cards, obviously it's super efficient on this algorithm, but then again 3070s are also super efficient on a lot of algorithms. So yeah, up to you obviously what's most profitable at the time. And yeah, you can see all the overclock settings. If you've watched my previous video, they haven't actually changed from the last one. They're still the most efficient. The one thing that I'd probably note is that if you can push the core offset more than 400, then go ahead and do it, because all it's going to do is reduce the power. But then if you, on the opposite end of the scale, if your cards crash at 400 offset, just reduce the offset down to 300. Some people maybe even have to go lower than 300, depending on how stable your card is and how old it is and whatnot, how good your memory cards are, or the memory modules and stuff. Usually that stuff can have an issue, play a role in how stable your cards are. So yeah, if your cards have been mining ETH for ages and ages and you've had temperature issues on GDDR6X memory and stuff, then your cards get less stable. But yeah, if you've got a super stable brand new card, it should be able to hold 400 as a core offset, or potentially even slightly higher. So yeah, keep that in mind. And then if your cards are like continuously crashing no matter what offset you put in, just lower the core clock as well, because it is a bit of a cumulative thing. The core clock here puts a bit of pressure, and then the offset puts a lot of pressure on the GPU. So yeah, that's how you can kind of combat that. 5001, you shouldn't have any issues with that being the memory clock. And yeah, looking at the rest of the cards actually on the efficiency, so the 3070 was the best by far, and then in second place we've got the 3060, and third place we actually have the 6600 XT. So yeah, that's about the only card from the 6000 series cards that actually comes in line with the NVIDIA cards. And then the rest of these cards, we've got 0.56 on the 3060 Ti, 0.559, around 0.56 as well on the A2000, and the least efficient of the bunch was the 3080 at 0.54. So yeah, there's some pretty good efficiency from the 3070 and the 6600 XT and the 3060. So those are probably the best cards to use on this algorithm. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this video. So leave a like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel, and have a great day. See ya.